What's going on, guys? It's Greg, and in this video I'm going to show you how to get your initial sales on Teespring. Now, this was a request that came in from one of you guys, so thank you so much for requesting this. I think it'll make for a great video. So first off, getting initial sales on Teespring is extremely important because you're dealing with the trust score. So as Teespring got bigger, they implemented this new feature. It's called the trust score, and basically it's for your account. If your account has sold shirts, they trust you more and they actually start indexing your shirts into their marketplace, getting you free traffic. So you have to build up that trust score initially. If you don't, you're really not going to get as much traffic as you need to. So with that being said, it's very important for Teespring. It's not important for Merch, Redbubble, or Teechip because they don't have a trust score, so you don't have to worry about getting those initial sales. So as I was editing this, I realized that I left out a part that I think would be pretty important. Even if you have campaigns on those other sites, just let them sell naturally. The SEO and the ranking on those will sell themselves by themselves individually. So step number one before we do anything is we have to make sure that we're making good designs, because no one's going to buy anything if it's not a good design. So the very first thing we need to do is go over to Etsy or Pinterest. I prefer Etsy, and type in the niche that you're going for. If you don't have a niche yet, you can just type in t-shirts and you can see what comes up. If you have a specific niche, type in that niche. So for example, yoga t-shirt, and then just look at everything that comes up. What you're going to go through here is look for look for inspiration. 2, look for things that are words more than designs, because that'll be easier for you to create, and I'm going to explain that in a minute here. And then 3, look for reviews. So see the ones that have the most reviews, and you want them to be 4 or 5 star reviews. So the best reviews and the most of them, that means that those ones are selling. That's where you're going to get your ideas. So now that you've got your designs, now it's time to start creating these designs. So you can do one of 2 things. You can either go straight to Teespring and start creating them on the site, which I don't recommend because you can't save that design. So you can't go put that on Merch, Redbubble, and Teechip. What I recommend you do is use a designing software so you own that design and you can put it wherever you want. The ones that I like the best are actually smartphone app. I use Typorama, that's for iOS, and then WordSwag is for Android. And as always, the little disclaimer here, Typorama is completely for commercial use. WordSwag hasn't officially announced that they're for commercial use yet. So use it if you want, but they haven't publicly announced that you can use it to sell on t-shirts. But Typorama absolutely has. So we're going to take our design ideas that we got from Etsy, and we're going to type in those phrases or those quotes or something similar into these apps and create our designs. Once we've created our designs, the first 2 steps are done. Now we've got to put them on the shirts and make a lot of campaigns. What you're going to want to do is make at least 100 campaigns and put them onto Teespring, and then put them on the other sites as well. Those other sites are just going to start building SEO. That's Merch, that's Redbubble, that's Teechip. They will just start building SEO, because SEO for anything on the internet takes like 1 to 6 months on average for it to start showing up in Google and really start to get you that organic traffic. So just get those designs out on those other websites so they can start doing their thing. We're going to focus on Teespring to get those initial sales and that trust score up. So once you've got all these designs on Teespring, now we're going to make a storefront. So go into your Teespring account and you can create a storefront from your dashboard. If you have any issues with that, let me know. And go in and just make your storefront look pretty. I don't want to go into detail on how to do this, but put a nice banner photo and just make everything nice and organized. And then add in campaigns. Now, a big thing here is if you have the same design on different products, only put that listing in one time and then have the multiple products available under that listing. And the reason I say this is because when someone goes to your storefront, they don't want to see your same design in 5 different listings on different items. It just looks very repetitive and spammy. So you want to have one design, and then when someone clicks on that, they can get it on a mug, they can get it on a wall tapestry, they can get it on a shirt, but just have one listing per design in your storefront. Now, you don't have to have all 100 designs in there. Just go for niche. So you can have something like 10 or 20 different designs in there, and that's going to be your store. And just make sure all of those designs are relevant, because it's going to be a storefront, it's a niche, and in this next step, we're going to be driving targeted traffic to that likes that niche. So if you have a dog niche store and you put something in there about cars into the same storefront, if you're driving dog people to that storefront, no one's going to be buying the car stuff and it's just going to be irrelevant. So it's not going to be a good match. So make sure that you're just putting in niche items into this storefront and creating a niche storefront. Once we have that storefront made and we have some products in it, now we need to actually visit that storefront and copy the URL so we can link people to that storefront. Now that we have that, we're off to a good start. So there's only a couple steps left now. Now we need to just step aside and we need to go and create an Instagram account. And if you don't already have a Facebook account, you're gonna need to create a Facebook account. So on Instagram, you're gonna need a new email and you'll sign up and create a new account. Now this is going to be the account for this specific storefront. So create the username as something that's relevant to this niche. And then you'll need an email address for that as well. So if you don't have a couple extra email addresses, you may have to create a new email address, which is no problem. You can just create a Gmail takes 30 seconds, and then use that for your login for Instagram. So now Instagram's set up. We don't have to do anything yet on that. Now we'll go over to Facebook. So you can actually create a business Facebook page through your personal Facebook account. So if you already have a personal Facebook account, you can just create a business page and no one sees that you're the owner, so it's not linked to you personally. If you don't have a Facebook account, you'll have to create a personal Facebook account. You don't have to fill in any information, and then create a business page for this storefront. And you can call this whatever the niche storefront is. It doesn't have to be a company name. You don't have to register it or anything. It's just going to be, call it whatever is relevant to that niche. Now that we have both of our pages made, we have our Instagram and we have our Facebook page. Now we need to link the two. So now go onto your Instagram page and go into settings and go to linked accounts. And you'll find Facebook. So then it'll ask you to log in with your personal Facebook account, and that's going to be what we just created, or the personal one that we're using to create our business page. Now, once you log in with that, it'll allow you to select the business page you want to link it to and select that page. Now, all we have to do is post on Instagram, and then there's a little toggle switch when you're about to post that post, and it'll say, do you want to also share this to the Facebook page that's connected? And just click yes. And then all you have to do is post that one time on Instagram, and it'll also post on Facebook for you. Now you're posting two places at once. It's very simple. So what are we going to be posting? You need to be posting photos of your campaigns, whatever's in your storefront. It can be screenshots of your storefront and anything relevant to that niche, just to drive traffic and interest for people who are interested in this niche. So I always recommend you go to placeit.net and you put your designs that you created on models or on items, and then post that on social media. Now that does come with a price tag of $29 per month, but you have over 17,000 different models you can choose from, and it'll make your social media pages look very professional, and you'll find a lot more people go to your storefront from social media just because it looks so much more professional. Now, if you don't use placeit.net, you can just use photos of your shirts from Teespring, so you can screenshot them there. You can click on the shirt and drag it and save that photo of the shirt and post that kind of content. So there's two more steps we need to do here. So step number one is we need to use hashtags. So before we can use hashtags, we need to find the right hashtags. Go to search on Instagram. So open up your Instagram, and at the bottom, there's a little magnifying glass. Click that and it'll bring you to the discovery page where there's a lot of different photos. Now up at the top, type in hashtag and then something that's relevant to your niche. So hashtag yoga, and type that in and then see what these suggestions are. And what you're going to do is you have to pick 30 of these hashtags and make a list of 30 from these suggestions. Now, there is no specific rules you have to follow here. You can pick any 30 and you can create different lists of 30, so you can try out different hashtags on different posts and see what tends to work better for you. But there's no rules that you have to follow here. Just find 30 hashtags that are relevant and jot them down in your phone notes so you can keep a list of this. And when you actually make your post on Instagram, just put the caption describing what the post is and post it with no hashtags. And then right after it's posted, come back to that post, make a comment on the post and paste in those 30 hashtags. Now it's not going to be a big eyesore on that post, but you'll still get the power of all those 30 hashtags right in the comments. So that's how you're going to get targeted traffic to your posts. And then the last thing is, how do we get them to your storefront? So there's two places we need to adjust this, and all we're going to do is go into edit profile on Instagram, and where it says website, we're going to paste that link to our storefront. And that's it. So then people can see all of our posts with our hashtags. They like that, they come to our profile, they see the website, they click it, it brings them to the storefront with all the niche shirts. That's where they're going to buy it. And then the second part of that is you have to go over to your Facebook page that you created, and on the Shop Now button that's in the top right, set that to link to the storefront as well. And you can also, in the About on your business page, you can set a website to that link as well. So that's how this all works. And all you're gonna do is post up to 3 times a day. 3 is the maximum. You don't wanna post any more than that, it's too spammy. But you only have to post once a day, or as much as you can. So if you can only post once a week, that's fine, because it's just bonus traffic that you're going to be getting in front of your posts and your shirts and potential sales. So as much as you can post, but just don't do any more than 3 a day, because then it just gets too spammy. And that's the whole thing. So that's what you have to do in the initial phases to drive free targeted traffic from hashtags on Instagram over to your posts. And then when they go to your profile, they click on your storefront and they see all your product offerings. and that's how you're going to get those initial sales. So guys, I really hope this helps you guys. If you need more in-depth screen recording showing how to do this step by step, I've got the 2 Teespring courses linked below. One is the beginner one that goes through setting up everything on Teespring, and the second one dives deep into the social media, actually setting up everything that I just explained. So I'll link both of those below. As always, you guys get the YouTube discount. But guys, thank you so much for commenting and liking on these videos. It helps me so much, and I can't thank you enough. If you guys like this one, give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content generally, I've got more and more coming for you, so subscribe to the channel. And at the end of the day, I hope this answered the question of how you get your initial sales on Teespring, and I hope this brought value to you guys and helps you guys sell more online. There's so much money to be made out there, and I really hope that my videos are helping you to tap into this. So guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one.